Yvonne or Ivan?
Hi, teacher.
Hi,
It's Ivan.
Yvonne. And where are you from, Yvonne?
I'm from Bogota.
Oh, okay. Welcome to my class.
Thank you.
And we also have, let's see, how do you say your name? Sigdem?
Chidam.
Tidam?
Yes.
Can you say it one more time for me?
Chidam.
Chidam. Okay. And where are you
Yes.
from, Chidam?
I'm from Turkey.
Oh, okay. Welcome. And we've also got Alexandra with us. Hi, Alexandra.
Hi again.
Hello again. Yes. Is it very late for you? You stay up very late to study English.
Oh, not very late. It's just midnight.
Oh, okay. See, I prefer to do my work in the morning. I get up very early to study and to work, and then I like to be finished by the afternoon.
Mm.
My brain turns to jello in the evening.
Well, I wake up early in the morning too, but if I'm very interested in something,
Mhm.
uh, I stay up late.
Wow, I'm flattered.
Yeah.
So, speaking of which, why don't we get started with our quick write? We are going to be doing a quick write for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then everyone will share what they've written in our Verbling chat. So I'm going to post the writing prompt. Prompt is something to get you started, an idea for you to start writing. So let me show you the prompt for today. Okay. Okay, can everyone see that screen?
Yes.
Okay. So you can see a writing prompt for today in our quick write. This is a creative writing prompt, okay? Which means I want you to be creative and think of a story to go along with this prompt. So the prompt is, after I promised to never tell a soul, she leaned in and whispered in my ear her secret. Okay? All right, everyone, I'm going to give you about 15 to 20 minutes. Try to write as much as you can and be creative. And we'll check back in and share our stories in about 15 minutes, okay?
Uh, Teacher, can you
Yes.
copy this word?
Mm-hmm.
And it's I need more explain. It's a story ending with this sentence, right?
Yeah, so you write a story to complete this sentence and be creative. You can write anything you want. Okay, can you see it in the chat?
How many? Only one paragraph, right?
Write as much as you can in the time allotted. So I'm going to give you about 15 to 20 minutes to write as much as you can. And you can use Google Translate if you want. Be creative. Is everybody ready? Do we need more time?
Yes.
Who's ready to share, or who needs more time?
I finish.
Okay. And how about the rest of the class? If you're ready to share, type OK in the chat. Is everyone prepared to begin? Sarah, do you want to go first?
I just need 1 minute for writing
Okay.
my text. Please, thank you.
Sure. Let's take 1 more minute and to wrap things up.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's get started. If you're not finished, we'll just we'll finish up where you are, and you can share with the group. Who wants to go first? Sarah, can you share first? Yeah, okay. You can type or paste your writing into the chat.
Okay. Not a lot.
Okay, and why don't you read your story for everyone and start with the prompt and then continue on.
Okay. I was going to my friend's home because she was ill. I stay here ill. I stay there. Stay there all that night, and I talk. I forget. I talk about many things, and in 3 a.m. I was hearing hear. Listen, I write it from. I hear. I. I saw her. No, I saw her crying, and I asked her why she crying. She never told me why, but after I promised to never tell a soul, she leaned and whispered in my ear her secret. She was lost her lover.
Oh, intrigue. A little bit of romance in this story. Romance and heartbreak.
Mm.
Okay, so Sarah, I'm going to read your story over again so you can listen to my pronunciation. And also, we're going to go over any mistakes I can find to help you improve your writing and hopefully also improve your speaking. So, I was going to my friend home because she was ill. I stayed there all the night and talk about many things, and in 3 a.m. I saw her crying. And I asked her why she crying. She never told me why, but after I promised to never tell a soul, she leaned in and whispered in my ear her secret. She was lost her lover. Okay, so you say, I was going to my friend home. So in English, how you show that something belongs to someone is with an apostrophe S. Okay? So it should be friend's home. In some languages, they'll say the home of my friend, but in English, we show this with the apostrophe S. So for example, Sarah's story, the story of Sarah. Okay? I was going to my friend's home because she was ill. I stay there. Okay, so this happened in the past. You stayed there. Okay, this is simple past. I stayed there all the night. In fact, we just say all night. So we say all night and all day. Okay? And back to the story. I stayed there all night. So why don't you repeat after me? I stayed there all night.
I stayed there all night.
Good. So it can be tricky to work on the pronunciation of these final D sounds in words. I stayed there all night. Very good. And the simple past, I talked about many things. I talked about many things and at 3 a.m. So the preposition for a specific time would be at. For example, at 8 in the morning, at midnight, at 3 a.m. If it's a specific time, we use the preposition at.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw her crying and I asked, again in the simple past. Can you repeat after me? Asked.
Ask. Ask.
Asked.
Ask.
So there's actually there's really 3 consonant sounds there. There's asked. Asked.
Ask.
Good. Okay, that one's really tricky. I highly recommend that you practice this, saying this word as much as possible. Asked, because of the 3 consonants in a row. Okay, I asked her why was she crying? Or if you ask her a question, I asked her, why are you crying? Meaning that you asked her this question directly. Okay, she never told me why, but after I promised to never tell a soul, she leaned in and whispered in my ear her secret. She was lost her lover. Okay, so we would use was if this was a passive verb. But lost or to lose is not a passive verb. So you just say, she lost. Okay, no need to use was because it's not a passive verb. It's an active verb. Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Did you have any questions about that?
No, it's okay. I
Okay.
want to cook with it.
If you are interested in working on pronunciation, I highly recommend practicing the final d and t sounds of words. Those are really useful to improve your pronunciation, and it makes it much easier for people to understand that you are using the simple past tense. Okay, excellent. All right, and it looks like Sasha is ready to go. Sasha, would you like to read your story?
Okay, so don't laugh.
Okay, well, if it's funny, I will laugh, but that's what you want.
Okay, I tried to use my imagination to the fullest.
Excellent.
So she was after I promised to never tell a soul, she leaned in and whispered in my ear her secret. So this beginning made me feel a little bit maybe romantic, something like this. So this is what I created.
Okay.
She was a former millionaire. Now, just for the record, former millionaires do not exist. She firmly believed that was a state of mind, a way of behavior embedded in her, and I could tell that she really was. Her sophisticated taste in movies, her graceful walk, and elegant fingertips, which never knew the manual work, were a dead giveaway. Regardless of this, she managed to stay humble. I could also say that she was on a shoestring budget, judging by her outfit and the fact that she hadn't done her nails for quite a while. But when she stated she was one of the most affluent women in the city, I knew she was for real. So I only wondered how she had ended up hitting rock bottom, but I was vaguely scared to ask. I didn't want to unveil the truth about her, either because I didn't want to hear another sob story, or maybe because I just wanted her to stay unknown for me. And at the same time, I anticipated a fascinating story. It couldn't be the other way around with her. So I just squeezed my eyes shut, took a deep breath, and simply asked, "How come?"
Very good. That's incredibly creative of you. So there's a lot of really great vocabulary in here, which I think would be useful for the other students to go over. So she was a former millionaire. Now, just for the record, former millionaires do not exist. What do you mean by that? That's interesting.
The explanation is given further.
Okay, she firmly believed that was a state of mind, a way of behavior embedded in her. And I could tell that she really was. So she was someone who used to have a lot of money, but now she had become accustomed to a certain life, right?
Yeah, what I mean is that being a millionaire is defined not only by having lots of money, but also by having some particular taste in clothes and movies. So in everything. And what I'm saying here is that, yeah, she lost her money, but her habits, her takes on things, her views, her preferences stay with her.
That makes sense. Yeah. I think that probably the best way to say that was she had become accustomed to a certain style of living.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Her sophisticated taste in movies, her graceful walk and elegant fingertips, which never knew the manual work, were a dead giveaway. I would actually just say which never knew manual work, or even better to say is manual labor. That's the sort of stock phrase we use. But if you say the, it makes us think of a specific example, but you just mean manual work in general, right? So here's an article that I think you would really enjoy reading. It's from this website called Grammar Girl, and it explains more information about when to use articles before certain nouns. This is something that is, to borrow your word, a bit more sophisticated. When your English is at the level you're at, it's about making those small adjustments. So that
Okay,
article will
thank
probably
you.
help you a lot, because I don't see many mistakes at all in your entire essay. Okay, I'm going to keep reading. Regardless of this, she managed to stay humble. I could also say that she was on a shoestring budget, judging by her outfit and the fact that she hadn't done her nails for quite a while. But when she stated she was one of the most affluent women in the city, affluent means wealthy for everyone else to know, if you didn't know that word, I knew she was for real. So I only wondered how she had ended up hitting rock bottom. But I was vaguely scary to ask. Okay, instead of scary, scary is an adjective that means other things make you feel scared. So as a personal adjective, you
Scared.
were vaguely scared, indeed.
Yeah.
I didn't want to unveil the truth about her either because I didn't want to hear another sob story. Or maybe because I just wanted her to stay unknown. I would say unknown to me.
To me.
Unknown for me is fine, but...
Maureen, maybe you can give me also some kind of a link for prepositions.
Yes, I was going to give one to the whole class. Let me see if I can find this one that I used the other day that was very useful. This gives an overview of the standard uses of prepositions. So, Sarah, I recommend you look at that too. It explains about how I said at is used at specific times in the day. So at one point in time, it explains when to use the different prepositions. It's very useful, in my opinion, this article, for a basic overview of prepositions. But again, prepositions are just one of those tricky things you have to get a lot of practice with. Okay, and at the same time, I anticipated a fascinating story. It couldn't be the other way round with her. It couldn't be the other way around with her. When someone speaks, it sounds like they're saying the other way round, but they're kind of cutting off the word around with her. So I just squeezed my eyes shut, took a deep breath, and simply asked, how come? Okay, there could be a whole nother story of how she lost all of her money.
Yeah.
Did you see the movie?
No.
Oh my gosh, I thought you were basing your story off of the movie Blue Jasmine. It's about a woman who has lost all of her millions, and she's kind of losing her mind.
Really?
It's a really great movie. Yeah, it came out last year, and the actress, Cate Blanchett, who played Jasmine, she won the Academy Award for Best Actress.
Yeah, she's a good actress. I saw her acting as Queen Elizabeth, or I think Elizabeth.
Yeah, I remember that movie. I think you might like Blue Jasmine. She does very good acting, and it's a retelling of a play called.
Maureen, I can't hear you.
Oh, did I cut out?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was just saying it's a retelling of this play called A Streetcar Named Desire.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
I recommend this movie a lot. Okay, so before we run out of time, let's keep moving on. It looks like Yvonne is ready to share. Can you read your story for us, Yvonne?
Okay, long time ago at Anne's house, I was sitting on the couch after I tried After I tried to sit up, I found under the sofa a 200 pages manuscript almost finished. After I promised to never tell a soul, she leaned in and whispered in my ear her secret. She's written her first novel book named "Further Away", a fascinating novel created by anecdotal events during her World Cup football game journeys in the last 20 years. I found it amazingly well documented, but not least a hilarious story.
Mm-hmm. Good. Okay. So a lot of times we begin stories with this phrase, a long time ago. A long time ago, if you've ever seen any of those Disney movies, like Shrek, they'll say, a long time ago in a kingdom far, far away. And it's a way to start a story. Like we also say this phrase, once. That's another common way to begin a story. And so it should be a long time ago at Anne's house. Very good use of the possessive. I was sitting. Okay, you can either say I sat on the couch, but in this case you're describing an event that happened in the past when another event occurred. So I was sitting on the couch, spelled with a U, couch. After I tried to sit up, I found under the sofa a 200-page manuscript, almost finished. After I promised, see we need an N on the, a D on the end there, promised, because it happened in the past. After I promised to never tell a soul, she leaned in and whispered in my ear her secret. She's written her first novel, book. Okay, so novel really means a book, so you don't have to say book. You can just say she's written her first novel named Further Away, a fascinating novel created by anecdotal events during her World Cup football game journeys in the last 20 years. I found it amazingly well documented, but not least a hilarious story. So was this someone who traveled around the world to see the World Cup?
Yes.
That sounds like a good plot for a book.
Yeah. Mm, I was sit on couch.
I was sitting.
I was sitting on couch.
Yeah, and that shows that you were sitting on the couch when another event happened. I was sitting on the couch when I found this manuscript. Okay, so you need to use, you need to use a progressive form. I was sitting. Okay, good. Not too many mistakes at all. Just a couple of small grammar errors. And let's move on to Jenna. Jenna, can you read your story, please?
Okay. At 6 p.m., I went for a walk in the park. I found a woman crying on the bench. I approached the woman and asked if she needed anything. Wait, hold on.
Sorry, I just had to mute Yvonne, so I didn't hear the echo.
Okay. Can I continue?
Yes, please.
The woman looked at me and tears ran down from her cheeks. After I promised to never tell a soul, she leaned in and whispered in my ears her secret. She has a twin sister who looks exactly like her. Sometimes they switch roles to help one another. For instance, when one sister was ill and unable to attend classes, the other one attended the classes for her. At first, when they switched roles, they feared that other people found out their little secret. After a few attempts, none of them got caught. They started to switch roles more often and even on dates. Eventually, her twin sister fell in love with her boyfriend and wanted to be his real girlfriend. She wanted to quit, but her sister warned her the consequences. Apparently, her sister was a person who helped her to pass all the exams in college. If she dared to say a word, she will be in danger of losing her diploma and job. In fear of losing everything, she had to agree to her evil twin sister. They had to switch roles permanently. Now she had to live under her sister's name and identity.
Oh my gosh, we've got a creative writer on our hands.
I
That's
think
a very good story. I
it's
like it. Yeah, you should finish this story and write a short story for a magazine or something about this. I mean, it's got a lot of intrigue. Okay, so one quick note, Jenna, about your pronunciation. I think you should also try to work on the final D and T sounds. So final pronunciation sounds, D and T, which can be really tricky for those simple past participles. Useful to make those very strong because the difference between look and looked is one is in the present and one is in the past, and we need to know the difference when we hear you speaking. So for example, at 6 p.m. I went for a walk in the park. I found a woman crying on the bench. I approached the woman and asked if she needed anything. The woman looked at me. So this word, looked, can you repeat after me? Looked.
Looked.
Good. Try to make that very strong, because when I heard you read it, it sounded like the woman look at me.
Yeah,
and tears.
I had the issue. Yeah, I tried to pronounce the letter more clearly, but because it's a habit for me, and sometimes I forgot about that.
Yeah, I understand, but it's something worth doing a pronunciation drill where you practice it a lot repeatedly until you break the habit. It makes it harder for English speakers to understand. For example, I can usually understand my students, but often I can't understand what they mean when they can't make the final pronunciation sounds on these words. So I'll try to send some information on pronunciation too at the end of the class. Okay. The woman, okay, let's see. And tears ran down from her cheeks. After I promised to never tell a soul, she leaned in and whispered in my ear her secret. She has a twin sister who looks exactly like her. Sometimes they switched roles, so there are two of them, so they each have a role, which means they switched roles. That needs to be plural. They switched roles or places to help one another. For instance, when one sister was ill and unable to attend classes, the other one attended the classes for her. At first, when they switched roles, they feared that other people, and in this case you need would find out. So they feared this in the past. So you need a past conditional form, because they thought this might happen in the past, so they feared that someone would find out their little secret. After a few attempts, none of them got caught. They started to switch roles more often and even on dates. Eventually, her twin sister fell in love with her boyfriend and wanted to be his real girlfriend. She wanted to quit, but her sister warned her of the consequences. To warn someone of
something.
Yeah. Especially of the consequences. Apparently, her sister was the person who helped her to pass all the exams in college. If she dared to say a word, she would, again, this is a conditional, so it needs to be would be in danger of losing her diploma and job. In fear of losing everything, she had to agree to her evil twin sister. They had to switch roles permanently. Now she had to live under her sister's name and identity. Ooh, that's excellent. I really enjoyed your story.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, and we have just enough time for Jawad. Can you read your story?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Up.
Oh, you typed it. Excellent. Okay, so if you could read.
Yes. After I promised to never tell a soul, she leaned in a hand, whispered in my car a secret. The secret was if you are a nice guy, maybe one day you will fly in the sky. At this time, I understood this girl is very strange. I shouldn't speak with her. She was pretty and crazy in the same time. Since she tell me that I won't see her again, I'm afraid by her. Nowadays, because of her, I dream about this secret and fancy I'm flying.
Okay, excellent. So, after I promised to never tell a soul, she leaned in and whispered in my ear her secret. The secret was, if you are a nice guy, maybe one day you will fly in the sky. At this time, I understood this girl is very strange. I shouldn't speak with her. She was pretty and crazy at the same time. At. So maybe check out that prepositions link I sent. Since she, this happened in the past, so since she told me that, I won't see her again. I'm afraid of her. To be afraid of something. Okay? Nowadays, because of her, I dream about this secret and fancy I am flying. Okay, to fancy is a very British way of saying to pretend, which is, it's more American to say, I pretend I am flying. So it's very likely you probably studied British English before in school, but if you're interested in American English, I think it would be better to say, and I pretend I am flying. Okay, excellent work, everyone. It was very fun to hear all your stories. And Jawad, the place I was thinking of is Cassis, where you can swim in the. I don't know how to pronounce this, but
yes, I know this place.
That's what I was thinking of before when I couldn't think of the name.
Oh.
Okay, so maybe I'll go visit there sometime when I'm in France.
Yes, you need.
Yeah.
Should be.
Okay, everyone. Thanks so much for coming to my class, and have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, teacher.
Take care.
Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome.
Really, I come to here late, but I would see. Thank you. I hope see you later.
Oh, thank you so much. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.